I got a video here from America's greatest transphobe. Short of actually just going out and killing trans people, this is America's greatest transphobe right here. Nobody does it like this nigga. He's the GOAT. He hates him with a burning passion. Although he would say that he doesn't. Slanders them, talks crazy about them, doesn't give a fuck about how they feel. Matt Walsh. Now, listen. Matt Walsh, I think, is a psychopath. Just from the way that I see him talk about any of these issues, he seems like a pure psychopath. Which is crazy because he looks like such a sweet ass nigga. He has the face of a sweetie pie. But he tries to make it seem like he's not a sweetie pie with his beard, but we see through it. But then he has the voice of a real man. It's so jarring. But then he's also a piece of shit. So I got this tweet from Mr. Walsh himself. Grateful for the chance to say a few words during the bill signing in Mississippi banning the transing of children. I haven't watched this yet. I think I watched like 20 seconds. Let's see what it's talking about.
Great. Well, I want to thank the governor and the lawmakers here in Mississippi who have done the right and necessary thing by banning the horrific medical abuse of children. I'm extremely encouraged to not only see this law being passed, but to see the national movement that we have been able to build, pushing back against the gender ideology madness that has a stranglehold on our society and on our children for far too long. The reality is that this is not a difficult issue, as the governor's already covered. It's quite straightforward, in fact. If we lived in a sane society run by sane people, we would all be able to agree on this point. The question of whether it's ever okay to castrate and sterilize and mutilate a child would be answered in one loud and unified voice, saying without hesitation, not only no, but hell no.
I don't agree. I don't disagree with anything that he said thus far, at all. This is where my mind went. Here come the atheists. Oh, but what about circumcision? Oh, that's genital mutilation. Oh, why are you cutting off the tip of their dick? You know, it's hard to take niggas seriously when they jump out the fucking window. You don't have to jump out the window. You can say some regular shit. You can say, I don't believe in God. Ain't no reason to do that shit. Ain't no covenant. Boom. That's it. Niggas that hear you will hear you. Niggas that don't won't. Instead of doing that, niggas want to jump out the window. Call that genital mutilation. Look, maybe, I guess, by the dictionary definition, when niggas is talking about genital mutilation, they're talking about fucking slicing the clit off. And that's in the Middle East. And even then, they slice the clit off, you can still get birth. You know, shit ain't lit. You're not getting lit when you're fucking, but you can still get birth. This thing, when he's talking about genital mutilation, he's talking about root and stem, cutting the whole shit off. Root and stem, cutting the whole shit off. Niggas want to compare that to circumcision. Like a nigga's tallywhacker still don't work. Like a nigga's John still ain't working. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? It ain't the same thing at all. But niggas that get circumcised don't try to off themselves at 41%. At 41%? But you know what? Let's keep going.
That is how all normal, common sense, decent Americans.
What I need him to do, and he probably won't. Oh, I hate this world so much. I need him, because I don't want to go and read the bill. Who the fuck wants to do that? I don't know how to read. What I need him to do is tell me what is in the bill. What are the consequences if you try to trans children? What does it mean to trans children? What specifically is getting banned? Like, if it's just surgeries, I'm all for that. Hormone therapy? I don't know. I feel like a parent and their doctor should be able to make that decision. You know, what are the consequences? Does the child get taken into protective custody? Who knows? So I would like him to get into that, but I'm almost certain that he won't.
And they don't have to think about it. But sadly, many of the people who hold power in this country and who run our institutions do not pass this basic test of human decency. These vultures have lined up to feast on and profit from the confusion of innocent kids. Confusion that these same vultures have intentionally fostered in the minds of our youth. They create the identity crisis, and then they monetize it. These kids are put on so-called puberty blockers to chemically castrate them, drugs that, by the way, have been given to sex offenders to chemically castrate them, and now we give them to kids. Off-brand cancer drugs that we're giving to children. They're giving...
This is all I'll say about that. And this is what I want you to do when you watch niggas like this, and hopefully when you watch me too. I want you, not even niggas like this, when you watch anybody, the media literacy needs to go up. Because a lot of niggas, they just be watching shit, and they go, or they'll watch it and go, nuh-uh. A lot of the time, you gotta be like, I don't know. And you keep it pushing. When he says, these are the same drugs given to chemically castrate sex offenders, is he saying that there's a drug, for instance, let's say hypothetically, there's a drug called Your Dick Won't Work No More, the drug. And when somebody's a sex offender, they take a pill out of the Your Dick Won't Work No More, the drug, bottle, and they put it in his glass of water, and they give it to that nigga to drink, and his dick don't work no more, right? Are they saying that they take that same bottle and go to a kid and take the pill out and put it, and the kid drinks it, and then... Is that what they're saying? Or are they saying that out of 70 different chemicals in the Your Dick Don't Work No More pills bottle, right? Two out of the 70 chemicals in this pill is in a different pill that they give to the kids? Which one of the two is it? Is it that it's literally the same pill, or a couple of molecules from one pill is in another pill, so now they're jacking that? I don't know. Could I look it up? Probably, but I don't even need to, because I know for a fact they're not giving your dick is done pill to the kids. They're not doing that. I know they're not. It's that there are some molecules that are the same. There's some ingredients that are the same. Sure. Is that cause for alarm? Sure. But when you get up on the stand and you say they give it the same shit that they give to sex offenders, to kids, it creates a crazy narrative. Because a lot of niggas are just going to watch that and they go, they're chemically castrating the kids. I don't know if that's the case.
Cross-sex hormones, which have irreversible and permanent effects. And before the age of 18, many kids will undergo surgeries, such as double mastectomy. Now, the kids cannot choose any of this. They cannot consent to it. They can't understand what they're doing or what the long-term effects or even short-term effects are going to be. You know, I often make the same point that the governor just made, and it's an important point, that many of the people who support and advocate for this butchery are not petitioning to lower the drinking age. You don't hear them calling for laws to make sure that kids have access to tobacco or firearms. They aren't marching in the street demanding that 13-year-olds should be able to get tattoos.
This nigga's cooking right now. This nigga's cooking with gas. Now, I know what somebody might say. Oh, but they get the express consent from their parents. 14-year-olds can't drive. It don't matter where they at. A 14-year-old can't drive. It don't matter what kind of consent they got from their mom and their pops. 14-year-old can't drive, can't drink, can't smoke. If they were doing that, they get taken away. And niggas that try to jack, oh no, there's no long-term effects. Listen, see me? I don't know how I look on screen. I don't know how I appear on screen. But I'm anywhere between 5'11" and 6'2". You might go, 5'11" and 6'2". There's a 4-inch spread that you're not sure about? Don't ask me about it. I'm just letting you know I'm anywhere between 5'11" and 6'2". Okay? Now, if I took hormone blocking, whatever the fuck these niggas is talking about when I was a kid, maybe I'd be like 5'9". I probably would be like 5'9". Short ass nigga. And to all the 5'9" niggas, you're short. You're a midget. Take it for what it is. Don't get mad. Accept it. And stop pretending like you're 6 foot. You're not 6 foot. You're 5'9". Now, niggas want to jack, oh no, but you know, you'll still be alright. If I was 5'9", I'd kill myself! No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. No, seriously, I wouldn't. But like, obviously there are going to be long-term effects. Now, if what you're saying, if you're saying, oh, they're not long-term effects because you're not horribly disfigured and your reproductive system doesn't work anymore and you're not going to die. Honestly, the second point that I made about your reproductive system not working anymore, I don't even know if that's true. Maybe your shit does get fucked up. But those don't have to be the only long-term effects for niggas to be kind of weary about that shit. Niggas couldn't pay me money to take puberty blockers. Niggas couldn't pay me money to take hormone blockers. They couldn't pay me to do that shit. And we're just handing it off to kids because they got consent from their parents? Alright, so let them smoke. Let them smoke then. They can take a couple, right? A couple of here and there, that's not going to give them cancer. Let them smoke then. Like, what are these niggas talking about? Let them drink. Couple sips here and there, it's not going to destroy their liver. And some niggas are going, yeah, why not? Listen, if in the privacy of your home, you let your kid smoke a little bit, you let your kid drink a little bit, you're a retard. But I don't think like that's the most evil thing in the world. But if the government catches you doing it, you should get in trouble. Same shit with the fucking hormone shit. See, I don't even know if I believe that. I think I'm just reinforcing his point. I think actually I'm just fighting against other people who might have a problem with his point. Because I understand his point. And I fuck with it a little bit. But I think I might be a little bit too far. I think the way that he's going about it is too far. I don't think he's going to win like this. I don't think his side, my side, I don't think we're going to win like that.
Or take out mortgages. In all of these cases, they recognize that minors have neither the maturity nor the powers of discernment nor the psychological nor neurological formation required to make these sorts of choices. And yet these gender ideology advocates want us to believe that the child who can't be trusted with a can of beer or with a credit card should be trusted to permanently transition into a different gender. It's madness. It is incoherent. And all the more incoherent when you consider that nobody actually can transition into a different gender. That's not physically possible. It's not medically possible. The doctors are lying to confused people.
What I'll say is, my definition of gender, it's really, there can only really meaningfully be like 5 genders max. Obviously, for the most part, there's only 2 sexes. If you're intersex, get fucked. Bad dice roll, don't know what to tell you. You know. Bad dice roll. There's only 2 genders, realistically. I mean, 2 sexes. Gender, I think you could jack like 5. I think you could jack man, woman, manly girl, girly man, totally androgynous. I think you can jack those 5. But like, I don't think they should be listed on forms. I think there should really only be, I think like if you're doing a form, it should only just be sex. Like it should just be male or female. Right? If you're intersex, pick one, nigga. We're not doing no guessing game with you. Interpersonally, when you interact with people, there could be like 5. But even still, like, the pronouns will all be the same. Except for, like, okay, so if, like, you're, like, totally androgynous, where it's like, is that a guy? Wait. Is that a girl? I can't tell. If you're like that, I'll give you the they them. If you're just a woman, like you just, I see this all the time, and you're just a woman, you're telling me to call you they, you're a dickhead. I might do it. Then what are we doing? What is it we're talking about? Because you don't want to have kids? You're a they them now? Yeah, I'll slap the shit out of you. You got OnlyFans. You got an OnlyFans. Talking about they them. So, the pronouns will all be the same. You can't tell me to say no Z's or. You can't do that. Come on, son. So, gender, in my mind, it's basically just like a synonym for like personality. I feel like you can only really have, like I said, like max 5, but the pronouns can only be she, her, he, him, maybe they, them. Maybe they, them. Those could be the only pronouns, right? One more pronoun, and then gender just as a category explodes into nothingness. Because then anything could be, so it's like, okay, man is he, him. But I'm a man who likes ballet, so I'm a Key Kim. Oh. And so I'm a man who likes ballet, but I like to eat chocolate bars. And so you can just continue to delineate and create new and more an infinite amount of categories to the point where it's just like, oh, my pronouns are actually just my first and last name. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. It's like you can get like five gender categories. Man, girl, girly man, manly girl, totally androgynous. All the pronouns are the same. Maybe I can give you they, them. One more pronoun. The second you say zer, boom. The category of gender explodes into nothingness. And then we're just back to where we were. There's only sex. So, I said all that to say, my definition of gender differs from his, but I understand that he just uses gender to mean sex. Probably because he thinks that sex is the only real category that matters.
So the very fact that a child desires to do such a thing in the first place is proof in itself that she isn't thinking clearly, doesn't understand what she's saying or what she claims to want. Which is not unusual for children. That's why they're children. We simply cannot allow this evil to continue. We cannot tolerate it. We who are decent and rational people, we who love our children, we who recognize basic truths. And one of the most basic truths is that children who are confused about their identity need guidance and love and clarity. They don't need hormone injections and scalpels. They need and deserve to be protected from the child-abusing quacks and soulless goblins who wish to exploit their confusion for their own financial gain. That's why we need this law. Our kids cannot protect themselves. They cannot protect themselves. We need to do it. That's our job as adults.
So who's he talking about when he says financial gain? Is he just talking about like pharmaceutical companies and the medical industry? Is he saying that they're doing all this just for money? And how much money is there really to be made on transgender kids? Like, I mean, how many? I mean, in the tweet, I'm pretty sure. No, that was the Michael Knowles tweet. Oh, what the fuck? In the Michael Knowles tweet, the person said that there's like 1.6 million transgender Americans. It's like if we're talking kids only, let's say that's like, I'll be generous and let's say that's like 30%. We bump 1.6 down to 480,000. When they say trans, do they mean just identify as it, or somebody who's interested in hormones, somebody who's on hormones, somebody who's interested in surgery? I don't even know what they mean by trans, because there are niggas that be like, I'm trans non-binary. You just threw me for a loop, because I thought trans meant you go from one to the other. Now you're saying non-binary, which means you're neither. What the fuck are you talking about? So, even when they say 1.6 million trans people, I don't even know who it is that they're talking about. we're saying it's only kids. How much money is there to be made on this? You know what I mean? I like, you know, for the most part, what I see are people who are potentially too empathetic, too compassionate, too kind, too nice. Who just kind of acquiesce to these ideas that don't make any sense, that aren't rooted in any type of logic or consistency, and they just give people what they want because it's just like, okay, well, why not? I don't really see it as like a financial issue, but I don't know, maybe I'm not tuned in, maybe I'm not tapped in. Tap me in if you know. If you know, let me know.
And everybody who's remained silent on this issue is culpable in what is happening to our kids. Many members of the media who have not demonstrated the slightest bit of skepticism, as the medical establishment has just told us over the years, that it's life-saving care to castrate a child. And you have members, the majority of the media, that just goes along with that, doesn't ask one skeptical question about it, all culpable in this. That's why we need to protect our kids. We can and we must. And now Mississippi has. And finally, I would only say to any other state that hasn't gotten on board with protecting kids that it's time to get on board. Okay, it's time to get on board. It's time to do the right thing. It's way past time. We have to act now. And I'll turn it back to the governor. Thank you.
Well, I didn't get what I wanted, which is to say any details about the actual bill, about the actual law that was signed, which is unfortunate, but also to be expected. We live in an age where people don't actually care about facts. They don't actually care about specificity or nuance. They just care about pushing their narrative and getting people on board, getting attention on social media. And so, he went up there and he spun his narrative, trans bad, hurting the kids, all that kind of stuff. Not to say I don't agree with any of it. I just would have liked a little specificity on what it is that was being signed into law. I mean, it doesn't affect me, one, because I don't live in Mississippi, and two, because I'm not a tranny, and three, because I don't know any trannies, personally. So, no skin off my bones. I would just like to know, because it feels like more and more in this political landscape, everything is just like it's like team sports, us against them, and maybe for the people at the top or the people who are the messengers, they have a better, more nuanced understanding. But for the people on the bottom, I see that they actually really don't know anything. They're not concerned about facts. They just want to have their biases confirmed. It's unfortunate because it leads to a lot of hostility, anger, and divisiveness. So, anywho, that's it for the video. Shout out to this nigga Matt Walsh, even though he's a psychopath. This nigga is a psychopath. And I'll tell you what, the worst part about this nigga, it's not that he's transphobic. It's not that he's fucking... He might be homophobic, I'm not sure. It's not that he might be racist, I'm not sure. It's that he says that anime is demonic. This nigga's stupid? Is this nigga stupid? That's the worst part about him. But other than that, I don't have too much beef with them. So, like, comment, subscribe. I got more videos coming your way. Peace out.